71 degrees in downtown Sylacauga, much cooler temperatures with highs in the low 70s today. And military veteran Donald Caine joins us this morning. And Donald, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Jim Dale.
Good to have you with us. And I don't know how long it's been now. We've been grappling with our Veterans Park and the veterans signs over there at Pinecrest. But it's been a little while, so let's talk about where we are on this.
All right. The reason I was coming in this morning, Jimmy Dale, is to actually explain to the people of Sylacauga what's the process, what's going on with it, why it has pursued the way it has, why we took the plaques back off, why they were on the first time. The reason they come off is because they were misspelt, they weren't lined up, had veterans, families coming by, wanting to know what's going on. We had double plaques. So we had a meeting, we elected to take all of them back off. Now we broke a bunch of them, and a bunch of them were old. So we've had all new ones made. There are over 600 right now that's in the process of we got together. So in the process of all this right here, again, the plaques are actually going to go back up. It's going to be about 2 to 3 weeks before we actually put them back on the wall.
Kind of show the plaques a little bit this morning.
Well, when they first come in from the laser place, it's in Inslee, probably can't see it, but what it is, they come in like this. When we go pick them up, they come in like this right here, but they got a film on it, a coating all over it. Now, once we get them in, we take them to the back and we spray 3 coats of paint on it with a sealant. A lot of people ask, why are they painted? Well, that's to protect the plaque itself. Now, once we get them hung, they're set up there and they're grouted. Then there's this film on here. We pull the film off, and that's how it comes to this part right here, which is actually the way it is. Of course, we clean the walls. We have a new contractor lined up to hang them this time. Chip Edwards. He's coming in to hang them, but until we get them all straightened out, we have worked at the wreck, I have in the last 3 or 4 weeks, getting them in, going through all the spellings, make sure the dates are right, make sure all the military information we've received is on the plaque is correct before they go back up.
And there's various reasons why that we've had the mistakes that we've encountered.
Yeah, it is. You know, we've had some plaques on there that's been on there for years. We don't have records of those, okay? The records were never kept back in them days. So what we did, we took pictures of them and logged them. Now, this is the problem we had. When we had that big storm come through, it killed our computer system at the rec center. We lost probably, I think, 175 names.
Oh, goodness.
So with no records, we are going back trying to relocate, trying to recap those and come up with them. Right now we've had pretty good success at it. And then again, we're trying to get them. Now, so if you have a family member, once we put them on the wall and you don't see your family member or your plaque, please don't get upset. Come to the rec center, talk to Jim or Sherry or myself, and let's see if we can figure it out. And it will go on there. Now, once we start getting all the remaining plaques in, which is going to be well over 1,000 of them right now, we are going to actually continue making them. But if you come in after the fact, we're not going to make 3 or 4 at a time. They have to go to Inslee. He can't make 1 or 2 at a time. It's a big, humongous laser machine. He has to make about 10 to 15, and it takes about a week's process. This plaque right here takes about 37 minutes to make. About 37 minutes to make because of all the information on it. This plaque here, with less information, takes about 18 to 20 something minutes. That's how long it takes for each plaque. Each plaque is $40 a piece. Now, to back up a couple of steps, when we lost all the plaques that we lost, it broke, if they're chipped on the end or whatever, and if I didn't approve of it, they went back to get a new one. We paid for them, $40 a piece. Jimmy Dale, we have spent, and it's going to hit well over $20,000 for the plaques Now, I know a lot of people's paid for their plaques, and that's understandable. But if we broke your plaque, or your plaque is not going back up the way it was before, and we made you a new one, we paid for it.
Who is we? Where does this money come from?
It's the rec center.
Okay.
The rec center has a budget. I've raised some money in the past, but then again, it comes out of the rec's budget. The city gives the rec a budget yearly. Well, that is actually, a lot of that's being used for these plaques.
Yeah, and that wasn't expected either, you know?
No. We were not expected to spend nowhere near that. At first, years ago when Strickland was open over here, they were $25 a piece. I sold them for $25 a piece, but then again, we found out they were $40, so we had to make the difference up of the $15 because this laser machine this gentleman's got is over $60,000 to laser this. And he's the only one we could find to actually do it. He's doing a great job. That's not it. It's just a process that it goes through. So it's coming along. It's going to look great. If I might say, Veteran Day is on the 11th of November. They will be hung prior to that, but on the 9th of November at 10 o'clock, Governor Ivey is coming to do the ceremony, the ribbon cutting. On the 11th, at 11 o'clock, it's going to be held at the stadium with taps, a lot of dignitaries. We're going to have a flyover. It's going to be a huge thing. There's supposed to be a parade. Now, that is in a different committee, which I have nothing to do with, okay? I don't have anything to do with this. John Weston is doing the committee for all this stuff is happening. So I'm just getting the information from him. So the parade deal comes through the mayor and his committee. So keep your ears open, your eyes open, and hopefully by then everybody will have the information they need.
All right, let's get back to Pinecrest Park. There's been a lot of conversation about this. It's been ongoing for several years. People become frustrated, especially those who have paid for their plaque, and now then seemingly we're having to start all over.
Well, the thing of it is, like I said, Jimmy Dale, when they went up, we had a miscommunication of how they went up, when they went up, which we're resolving that matter. Okay, we're resolving that matter right now. So before, this is for the veterans and their families.
Sure.
This is not for the city. This is not for the 280 highway. This is strictly for the veterans that earn their name to be on this plaque and on the wall. So what we're doing is, until we get them all corrected, which they will be, and until we go over every one of them, which we are, they're not going to be hung. But they will be hung probably in about 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to start hanging them. And we'll probably have at least 4 walls ready to hang, which is a little over 600. We're out, not the budget, but the outlook of it is around 1,000 plus. Now, again, once they're hung, keep coming in. If you want to purchase one, we'll get your name on the list, we'll make them, and we'll continue to put them on. So we've had a miscommunication and a mishap on them, but good things come. Now, we've had a lot of people calling me and coming to the rec really upset. And all I'm asking, Jimmy Dale, is be patient, okay? It's going to happen. It will happen. We were supposed to have done this last year, but the weather, the contractor, the way the process has to work broke us down, but we are determined, and it will happen. This year, Veterans Day, it will be up and going. Now, if I might recap on this, we've already got the plants in, 90% of the plants. They will be starting going up. Now, there will be some stuff coming pulled up. They're going to start that process. And then the new plants and trees are going to start going down here within, if I understand this correctly, between now and next Wednesday, you'll be seeing new bushes, and new trees going up. The landscaping done. We've got a lot to do. This is not just a wham bam, let's get out here and within a month's time it's done. It's a process. And until it's corrected, which we're correcting it, and it will be corrected, it's not going up until then.
Does the veteran, do they have to be deceased, or can any veteran place a plaque, or what?
It goes back to what we were saying. We've got, and if I might, I've got every one of these plaques in the back of the rec in a big room, all in alphabetical order. I went to Ainsley last week and picked up a little over 90 new plaques that we had to have remade. Okay, one family, the Teals, Joe Teal and his family, some of his kinfolk, grandparents on down, they were in the service in 1775.
Oh my goodness.
Up till now. So there's like 12 Teals, not counting some cousins of his, which makes a total, I think, 14 or 15 Teals. So you can be deceased, you can be active, you can be reserved, you can be retired, you can be Army Reserve. If you wore the uniform in any part of serving this nation as a veteran, you qualify. Now, if I might, we had, and I'm not going to call any names, this kind of upset me. Somebody came to the wreck really upset. He was a veteran, saying that the guardsmen and the reserves do not qualify or deserve to be on that wall. Well, that ain't happening. It is happening. It's going to happen. Okay, that got corrected real quick. If you wore a uniform and you served this nation or you served your state, you deserve to be on that wall. Come on in. Don't listen to anybody else. I'm telling you right now, you do.
If someone may be watching this morning and say, hey, my husband or my brother or whomever, sister, military veteran, and they're deceased, how do they go about getting that loved one's name to you guys?
Okay, great question. I appreciate you telling me that or asking me that. At first, when it started, we would come into the rec, or they would call me and I got the forms, or come into the rec to the front office and they would give you a form to fill out, or they would fill it out for you. Well, excuse me, by the time it got from there to 4 more hands, that's where the problem was. Okay? Come to the rec. Ask for Jim or Sherry or myself. We got the forms. It will be $40. We'll show you how to fill it out. We'll get to the processor and go from there.
I guess one of the important things is making sure that when you come to the rec, you've got the correct spelling and everything and the dates for that loved one.
That's true. Excuse me. If you got a 214 or a 22 for that individual, bring it to us. If you don't, we'll make sure all the writing, the spelling, and the dates. You don't have to have the entire dates or anything such as that. We like to have his rank, MOS's, his time in service. We don't need his birth date or death. We just need what branch he was in, the years, his MOS, and his rank. And we can make that happen.
All right, Donald Caine, Army veteran, National Guard. And when you talk about people's service to our country, and our country is in such a volatile state now, but America is still the best country on the face of this earth.
We are living in a nation right now that is, it's free. There's a lot of stuff happening, and everybody knows that. I'm not going to go into that, but we are still a great nation. These guys, he served in Vietnam. This one served in the Marines. There were service members that served in the Guard that were mobilized during Desert Storm. These are the people who helped us, okay? Even though what's going on today, okay, it disturbs me. It really disturbs me, but we are still a great nation. We're doing this for the veterans. Past, future, present, it does not matter. We love them. It really gets to me when it comes to talking about this monument and this plaques we're doing. We done spent close to, well over $250,000 on what we're doing, and it's not stopped yet. When it first started years ago, we were looking at, they were looking at, it could cost about $150,000. Well, that's not the case, okay? And if it costs an extra $50,000 to $60,000, we're going to come up with the money. It's going to happen. It's not going to be half done. We're going to do the best we can. We're just asking everyone to please be patient. And if you have a question, please come see us. We'll be happy to answer anything, show you what we're doing. Once we start putting them up, we don't care if you come out there and watch. Just please don't get in nobody's way, because once it's all said and done, everybody's going to be smiling and proud of it. And so I'm making sure, and I'm human. I'm gonna make mistakes, and I've got Gary McDixon up there with me. When you go through 600 something names, and you go by a form, and you try to make sure everything's corrected, within 4 or 5 hours, you're looking at different names and numbers and dates.
Kind of blurry, doesn't it?
It gets blurry. It gets blurry, and so we have several eyes looking at it to make sure they're correct. And right now, like I said, I got over 90 being painted today. We've got well over 500 something now stacked up in alphabetical order. Now, if I might say this real quick, every family member are not going to be able to put in alphabetical order. They're not going to go by branches. They're not going to go in alphabetical order, nor are we going to be able to put all family members together, okay? I will say this, and I talked to Jim at the rec about it, that the ones I do know and the ones I do recognize on the forms, yeah, I'm going to try to put them together to have Chip to line them up together, okay? If possible. If they're not together, please don't get upset. They're on the wall. But we're going to try our best to do what we can for the wall, for the veterans, and for the city. And
hopefully this will be a done deal before this year's out.
It will be a done deal. Again, this is an ongoing process. Again, once we start hanging these right here in a couple weeks, and I got Chip coming in Monday or Tuesday to the rec to talk to me, and let's go over this stuff. It actually takes about 3 to 4 days per wall. Okay,
and there are 4 walls.
Well, there's 4 walls in, and there's 4 walls out.
Okay.
So there's really a total of 8 walls. So by the time it's a process, you have to hang them, grout them, let them dry, clean them, etc. So it's going to take some time, but it will be done. It's just the fact of we had to start over. I'm not ashamed of it. The thing of it is, when it's all said and done, we're going to have a lot more happy people and veterans than we were before they came down.
Very quickly, if people watching this morning from wherever you are in the state of Alabama, if you'd like to donate to the cause, they can do that, can't they?
Greatly appreciated. If you had a family member, you're not in this area, I have sold plaques to people, Alex City, Talladega, Birmingham, throughout, that says, hey, I want to be a part of that. You know, it doesn't matter. You don't have to live in this town or this city. So, and I've had several businesses, which I'm not going to go over, that have donated in the past for this to help us out. So yeah, if you want to donate or contribute to this factor, please come see us at the rec center. It is a 501c3 tax deductible, so you can write it off on your taxes, anything you want to donate. $5, $10, $1,000, it doesn't matter. The more you give to help us out to do this right here for the veterans and their families.
All right, Donald Caine, our guest this morning. We're talking about the Pinecrest Veterans Park right there on Highway 280. And we're going to get this done in 2021. And we look forward to a beautiful, beautiful scene coming up in a couple of months. Donald, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Jim Dale.
More Daybreak right after this.